Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. It is your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly. Email tmosso@thewatchbox.com for pricing details. Today, we're discussing a variant of the Patek Philippe Nautilus that launched back in 2014. It looks like a 5711, but in fact, this is the Patek Philippe Nautilus 5713/1G-001. So the 5713 is a white gold Nautilus with a diamond set bezel from the factory. It measures 40 millimeters in diameter by 8.6 millimeters thick. From lug to lug, the case is 44.3 millimeters, but because we're going to wear it on the bracelet, we measure the end link to end link distance across the wrist, and that is 48 millimeters. Now we'll throw the watch on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference, and get a good sense of its fit and its size. It's fairly discreet for a full bracelet gold watch that includes diamonds. Now you can see it's nowhere near approaching the edge of my wrist. From over the top, I've got plenty of clearance. You can see it'll fit underneath any kind of a cuff. Down the barrel, you get an even better sense of how well it fits. It's nowhere near the edge of the wrist. So I can recommend this watch for a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference. Taking a look at the bracelet, it's traditional Nautilus integrated, just as the first was in 1976, as designer Gerald Genta envisioned it. We have a taper down from the lug profile. We have a little rolled bevel on the flank of the case that continues down the shoulders of the links. We have satin primaries and polished intermediates. You can see that the flanks are satinated, and you can see that right here we have removable links fixed by pins and sleeves. Then we roll all the way down to the clasp, which is double deployment. You can see it includes a ceramic spring-loaded pin snap, and the idea behind that is that over time, as you open and close this clamshell many times, it cannot aggress against the ceramic, so the ceramic will never wear down, so the tolerances will never become ropey or loose. That's the benefit of using ceramic in that component. And then, of course, you have the Calatrava cross on the clamshell that locks the clamp in place. You could appreciate just how complex the Nautilus case is. This is a three-piece case with a screwed-in case back and mid-case, and then a bezel with wings included that screws down on top. We have a screw-down crown, we have a 120-meter water resistance, and one of the reasons the Nautilus costs more than the Aquanaut is not just because it gets pride of place as the older and more vaunted reference. The case truly is a lot more complex, both in assembly and in finishing, and you can see all these different facets and finishes lavished on it. Taking a quick look at the dial side now, the integrated bracelet sports watch back in the 1970s was Gerald Genta's specialty. He created the Royal Oak in 1972, and then 4 years later, he came back with a second effort that became the Nautilus. In a lot of ways, the Nautilus is a more resolved design, as the rounded polygon of the bezel is the same on the outside as it is on the inside. On a Royal Oak, the inner bezel, the crystal, and the dial are all round. Here you can see everything is symmetrically profiled. The dial is sort of slate blue-gray with a gradient. It's lighter at the center and darker at the edges. We have the lateral striations, a relatively discreet Patek Philippe marquee at the top, white gold baton-style hands with a white gold lancet-style counterweighted seconds hand, and we have white gold indices to match. This watch is automatic winding, full bracelet, 120 meters water resistant, and well loomed. So while it is a very luxurious sports watch, it remains a sports watch. You'll appreciate that the watch does include a quick set system for the date, and though it doesn't really have a hacking seconds function, you can use a little bit of back pressure on the crown to stop the seconds hand if you want to synchronize to a reference time. Now we turn it all over, and you can see Patek Philippe manufacturer automatic caliber 324 on the reverse. It is a center rotor automatic that winds by unidirectional action and features ceramic bearings for greater efficiency. You could see that this is an older example of the watch with the Geneva hallmark blazoned on the bridge adjacent to the balance. The watch has 45 hours of automatic winding power reserve. It beats weight 8 beats per second. It pivots on 29 jewels, and it is adjusted in 5 positions, which is the high horology and chronometer standard. We'll take a quick look at that balance. You can see it is the historic Patek Philippe Gyromax style. Gyromax is a free-sprung architecture that Patek Philippe first created back in the late 1940s and industrialized during the 50s. It allows for more precise setting of the time, but also greater shock tolerance. The movement, of course, like the watch, features a handsome amount of hand finishing. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details of this Patek Philippe 5713.